Wow, you hate to see it, man. Juan Soto struggling at Citi Field. Ever since he got to the Mets have been hyping up Juan Soto to be the best player in New York. But this man is hitting as if he was the seventh hole in the Yankees. You think, what's the difference between him and Harrison Bader 2 years ago? Oh wait, Harrison Bader actually had a glove. Juan Soto, man, you've been absolutely poor this season. Remember when Trey Turner was struggling and the Phillies came out and, Nick Castellanos was like, we got to back him. We got to cheer him. He's going to be here for a long time. But that was mid-season. Juan Soto, less than 30 games in. Already, oh guys, we gotta come out and we gotta cheer for him, support him in this slump. My man, he got almost a 800 million contract, and he already is slumping. Like, this man should be in his prime. Wait for when you're 40 in this contract, because you're gonna be here for your whole life, your whole career. Give it like 10 years before you're hitting like this. No, he said straight away, yeah, I'm slumping. Possibly could be what I call a contract extension hungover, because you signed that deal, you're set for life, you don't really work as hard as you were last season, and now you're absolutely not performing. You're getting absolutely derailed by Mets fans. They are, all the Mets fans came out and said, Cohen, please give us Soto. We're one hitter away, one elite hitter away. And Cohen did his job and signed Soto. Now Soto's not doing his job. Damn, you hate to see it, man. But let's see the other 22 in New York. Oh, wow. Wow. Ben Rice. It must be the year of the Rices, man, because Declan Rice is firing in football. And now we got Ben Rice absolutely mashing here. Better average, OPD, slugging, hits, home run, RBIs. Wow. Ben Rice. Wow. He's absolutely outperforming, the guy who we took his jersey from. He went and ripped it off on Soto and said, you know what? I'm going to be hitting like Soto. It seems like they, not only did they switch, numbers, apparently bats too, because Ben Rice is mashing and nobody's talking about it. Meanwhile, Juan Soto is underwhelming, man. And you could tell Juan Soto misses the Yankees because he came out and said, man, it's different. I'm getting pitched differently. Back then I had Judge behind me, so they were actually attacking him. Now, they're oh, we'll walk you, no problem. Because obviously, from going from the best pure hitter of baseball, to anything else is going to be a huge difference. We all know in the regular season, I will say, pitchers were going to be pitching around Judge a lot more than Soto. They would rather see Soto than Judge in the regular season. Nobody's going to doubt that. In the playoffs, obviously it's the other way around. A pitcher would rather see Aaron Judge than Juan Soto. We've seen that with the Dodgers. They would prefer to walk Soto and face Judge than face Soto. Because Soto in the playoffs, I will say, is a different beast. He turns up. And Judge has yet to really do that. But the thing is here, Juan Soto, man, you're getting paid almost $800 million. You've got to turn up year round. In the off season, if you're gonna be playing, any off season baseball practicing, you still got to be turning up because you're getting paid the most money ever, even more than a guy that's hitting and pitching in Ohtani. So, right here, he definitely is having some regrets because obviously you went from, anything from Judge, anything aside from Judge is really a downgrade when it comes to who's hitting, after you. So he's getting pitched differently. He went from being attacked and having a career year at the Yankees. That's a big reason why he had a career year at the Yankees. And you went from a hitter's friendly ballpark to a pitcher's friendly ballpark with Citi Field. So a lot of changes, a lot to adapt. But when it comes to talent, if Juan Soto and the money that's been given to him, he should be able to figure it out. But man, oh man, when he doesn't hit 40 bombs and he hits 30, possibly high 20s, hitting, maybe average of 270, oof. And the Mets get to the wild card and get bounced out. Ooh. Ooh, you might get some Chris Davis talk because yeah, those are good numbers, but for a record-breaking contract, you hate to see it, man. Maybe he'll have his little moment against the Yankees. He'll hit a bomb in Yankee Stadium, maybe. But hey, when that's the results, man, because you're in a stacked little division there, the Braves could turn it around. Obviously, the Braves are having a really bad year, but the Nationals, they're developing their talent. Phillies are the Phillies. You've got the Dodgers in that division, and the Dodgers division is probably the toughest one in the league. You've got Dodgers, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks, all those four teams are better than the Mets. At the moment, everybody thought, oh man, the Mets lineup is going to be mashing now that they got Soto, but the starters, ooh, that looks shaky. But the starters are pitching great, but the hitters are not hitting. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Kyle Tucker has been the best acquisition, in my opinion, this season. Juan Soto, it should have been you, but you're not performing. But look at Judge, man. Look at Judge. They take Soto off. You put Soto in. Soto could be, in Miami. Soto could be wherever he wants. But Judge is still going to be raking. And this is my captain. I'll tell you that. Because this is a proper player. No matter who's in the lineup, he still hits. Just went 4 for 4 last night. So, Aaron Judge, man, I'll tip my cap to you. You're a player that I highly respect. Didn't, sell out for the money. If you passed up on a lot more money than Juan Soto did, $5 million to stay with the Yankees because he obviously knew the marketing was going to be different, going to San Diego, instead you stayed, and look at that. It's paying off. You're going to have legacy, my man. Juan Soto. Hey, your time of winning rings and contending for championships are over. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Juan Soto made the right decision? Or should he have stayed with the Yankees? Should have stayed with the Yankees.